Hey everyone, this is Mawa. Welcome back to the MMaverick channel. Now, yesterday we talked about something to do with obviously Bitcoin cryptocurrencies and their potential impact in the world, but a lot has been said and done already. But guys, we know that at this point, if you don't get it, well, there's still a chance to get it, because if you're to read anything, go read this article here. This is an article written in the Bitcoin magazine. Who wrote it? Actually, I didn't look at the author's name. That was rude of me. I think it's at the end. Hold on. The author is called Captain Sid. Captain SIDD. So I guess they're keeping their actual name anonymous. So this, I'm not going to read this whole thing, but essentially this thing is, the title of this article is Stop Trying to Understand Bitcoin. And the essence of this article is that when you log into your internet, do you understand what your TCP IP does, your internet service provider, your HTML, what they do? All you're interested in is the graphical user interface. All you're interested in is that you go to Google, you Google something and words appear. So that's the same sentiment. So there's a point I want to drive into in this video, and that's why I'm starting like this. But let's drive to that narrative slowly, but let's try and keep this video short. So in this article, let's look at this part right here. There's many important parts, but I've just picked out a few that just to summarize. So what do you need that Bitcoin might be able to help you with? Maybe you want to buy assets that produce income so you can escape the 9-to-5 rat race, to preserve savings against inflation until you retire, or to escape tyranny by moving your savings out of a broken financial system or oppressive government's reach. Now, guys, we have to accept a combination of technology and the governments, at least the most majority of government structures as we know them right now, is not a very good combination. As a person that's looked into artificial intelligence and machine learning, and as a person that has lived in countries where machine learning and artificial intelligence is heavily used on the population, where the government becomes so strong and powerful, it becomes like some sort of deity of sorts, because they see everything, they know where you are, they know everything about you, your credit systems, every single thing, your move, everything you do every single day. So what Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies mean to you has to deeply come from within. That's why usually crypto is affiliated with libertarianism. But of course, any extreme of anything is never good. But that idea of freedom, the idea of finally balancing the financial structure. So it's not just revamping the whole financial system, but it's rebalancing that financial difference, that difference between the higher classes and the lower classes. But it's not a fight. I know that to be up there, to achieve success, to achieve a certain level of success, in most cases, you need to be willing to do what other people aren't willing to do. You need to be able to work extremely hard. You need to be able to sacrifice a lot of things. But we're talking about systems that are being designed right now, where in such a way are being designed by a few minority in such a way that it looks down on other people as, well, these are our children, these are sheep that can't make decisions on their own. So what cryptocurrency does is that it separates money and state. Just like historically we've seen state being separated from things like religion, such that, some areas of the world, like Islamic states, certain governments, of course, are still under the rule of religion. But if we look at the Western states and some other countries, democracy rules over. In other words, the will of the people ideally is supposed to rule over, and that's the essence of democracy. So what Bitcoin brings is a whole other aspect. So this article goes into assets, real estate, and different assets, inflation. So it's not a safe environment to know what to invest in anymore, especially with overly inflated stocks and with bonds not giving any serious rewards out there. Money cannot be trusted. Fiat money cannot be trusted as a store of value anymore. So what do you do? So let's look at the end of the article and how this person actually concludes what they were saying. And I found this really interesting. What is Bitcoin to you? This is the question you must ask yourself to understand Bitcoin. Not what it is, but what it does for you, for your loved ones, for our societies. To me, it's a better form of money and the best way to save. Money is a technological system just like the internet or your car, but with a far longer history and more importance to societies, peaceful functioning and deployment. Getting money right can mean peace or war, life or death for societies and people. Instead of trying to understand Bitcoin, you may want to start by trying to understand what Bitcoin is replacing, our existing global monetary system. And he sends an article that essentially goes into the history of money and talking about inflation and other things about that. Now, what's interesting here is that I read this book by Ayn Rand, which is, I think it was Atlas Shrugged. That just came to my head right now, actually. There's a part in the book. I'm not paraphrasing. I'm paraphrasing, actually. There's a part in the book where she talks about money, because there's this whole division between the state. The state is saying, oh, the rich people should give everything to the poor, but ideally, or to the rest of the people. But ideally, the state is composed of a bunch of lazy politicians in the book that really just want to mooch off whatever these other guys are doing, the steel guys, the copper guys. So there's a point where Ayn Rand, where one of the characters in the book, the lady character, I forgot her name, she's trying to explain the whole importance of money and the importance of people working hard and having their own, is that without money, basically money is the language that allows us to communicate peacefully. Without money, the guns come out, the fists come out, because with money you approach someone, you're like, hey, well, instead of taking your stuff forcefully, can I offer you this amount of money in exchange for this thing? So with that trade, we're both happy, and money being divisible and all that stuff, yada yada yada. So Bitcoin is that democratized type of money that anyone can access, send to anyone in the world, that is immutable, uncorruptible, and is permissionless as well. So if you're to take away anything from this video, go and read this article. I'll put the link in the description. So let's look at this headline. Bitcoin interoperability platform Intellect raises $3 million in seed funding. So we're looking at a company here trying to, you guys all know that I'm big on interoperability, and that's why I'm always fronting platforms like Cosmos. Of course, there's Polkadot, which is the one that's most known, but I'm particularly interested in the Cosmos network because of how their scaling solutions are. They are quite sophisticated. They are actually working. They've rolled them out, like the IBC, Inter-Blockchain Communication Protocol, and so on. So here we're looking at a company raising money. In the background, as we're hearing bad news about Bitcoin because the price is going down, you always expect bad news. Seeing this company here in underground, in the background, raising $3 million to start facilitating the interoperability of the Bitcoin network. Guys, pay attention, watch what they do, not what they say. Let's look at this article next. Jack Dorsey. We all know Jack Dorsey has been extremely bullish on the whole Bitcoin thing. This guy, every time you see his picture, it looks like he's going through some existential crisis every single second. So basically, Jack Dorsey says Square will launch Bitcoin DeFi platform. So we're consistently looking at a lot of money being channeled into not just Bitcoin, but other cryptocurrencies, the whole DeFi space, non-fungible tokens, and the virtual worlds that are developing in a decentralized way in cryptocurrencies. So if we see stuff like this, the people that know where politics is headed, where the financial system is headed, the hole in which it's headed to, they know the right place to be right now is Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, because essentially the internet needs a financial layer, and that's what this is all about. So if you see such news, Malaysia is literally crashing thousands of illegal Bitcoin miners. What does illegal Bitcoin miners even mean? I mean, what nation does this? Fine, confiscate this stuff, do not destroy it, use it to empower your economy by attaining more Bitcoin, and find a way of dealing with these people. Maybe even give them a bit of reward, because they are trying to help your nation get ahead of this whole crypto race, financial race, and get embedded into the new financial system. Guys, this is politics. I'm not going to get into it. The point of reading this headline is that do not make your financial decisions based on such news. Make your financial decisions in the crypto space through the journey, the painful journey of doing your own research, looking at different aspects of this space, and then finally internally analyzing or internalizing what this space means to you. The ability to send money from one point of the globe to another in seconds and milliseconds without needing any permission from any single person, any single entity, or any single government. This is extremely powerful. And you don't have to be an illegal person, an illegal whatever. You don't have to be a criminal to do this. We all know most of the money is channeled through a bank anyway. I'm not going to go political. So guys, more articles. China has cracked down on cryptocurrencies. We all saw this, the mining. But then we see some good news in the sense that these miners are essentially moving to other places. So we can see an exodus of miners, and this is an advantage to other miners out there, independent miners, people that are smaller miners. With this mining cut down, it reduces the hash rate of the Bitcoin network, hence allowing other people to leverage the energy they have to be able to mine all this Bitcoin. And not to forget that this whole narrative of Bitcoin is wasting energy, whatever, that helps in the sense that it incentivizes innovation in the field of renewable energy. So that's in the long run going to be really good for everyone. So that's not a very good argument. So anyway, let's jump out of the Bitcoin thing. Let's talk about Fetch.AI, my favorite cryptocurrency, my favorite altcoin, and they released an amazing, beautiful video. So guys, I'm not going to play the whole thing. Basically, what they're doing is that they're visualizing their developer activity, and we all know Fetch has been high on the developers list ever since, for I think more than 1.5 years now. They've been developing, and I've been watching and I've been following. So yeah, my channel, maybe people will call me, no, I'm not gonna put a name on myself so that people start, they're like, oh, you're the one that said it. So anyway, essentially, I'm bullish about Fetch.AI. Those that have been on this channel, that have watched me on this channel, understand that I know that I love Fetch.AI because they're deeply embedded within artificial intelligence and machine learning, and infusing that with blockchain technology. And essentially, I call them the part of cryptocurrency that's really going to make smart contracts smart and DeFi smart. And let's just stop at smart contracts smart, because smart contracts, as far as cryptocurrencies are concerned right now, are the things that govern everything else. If you want to build decentralized exchanges, if you want to build, if you want to trade non-fungible tokens, basically you have to have a smart contract that allows the user to interact with the other user A to interact with user B to transact whatever they want to transact in the middle, in the way that you've designed the smart contract to be. But it creates that room for safety, because it knows once this has been pushed this side is going to be pushed the other side, and there's no need for a third party to approve of that transaction. So Fetch.AI, I call it the thing that's going to automate all those processes. Let's look here next. This is Mettalex. I'm not going to read this article. So Mettalex, if you've been following this channel, is the other sister product that's being built by some of the people from the Fetch.AI team. They're also building some other platform called Atomics, which is going to be essentially a lending platform. So Mettalex is a derivatives metals exchange, which is this is a graphical interface. But what I wanted you guys to take note of is that the trend, look at this part in this article, the $20 trillion commodities market on-chain, $20 trillion commodities market on-chain. Mettalex offers the tech required to effectively scale the DeFi ecosystem to address the requirements of the global financial markets. Now, the market cap of Mettalex is not 20 trillion. This is the market capitalization of the derivatives, metals, and those financial instruments is estimated at around $20 trillion. We don't have any exchange out there, a decentralized exchange, that has been able to bring liquidity to those financial instruments, not only just using cryptocurrencies, but as well as leveraging on the advantage that this kind of platform, this kind of use case will be opened up to other people. Right now, as far as I'm concerned, it's very, very hard to start trading things like commodities like metals. I mean, metals like silver, gold, precious metals. I mean, trading on that. Apparently, for example, if you go to the London Metals Exchange, it must be one of the biggest. It's really hard to get in there. It's limited to a few people. You need to have certain requirements that most people don't meet. Now, this is decentralizing, democratizing the whole thing, and being able to capture that big of a market. So guys, that's what I'm telling you, well, not telling you, but if you want, that's what I'm doing. If you want, look into these products, really look into Fetch.ai and the companies that they partnered with, for example, and their products they're building. For example, we know also Mettalex has been seeking out this company called DIA, which is essentially going to be the Oracle Habitat on the Mettalex platform, and as well as the Mettalex platform is powered by the Fetch.ai, the automation brought about by Fetch.ai. So essentially, the innovation that Mettalex has announced of recent is that there's a decentralized It's a decentralized crypto commodities exchange, derivatives exchange, and it has launched a couple of yield farming. There's already yield farming that has existed on the Mettalex ecosystem. You can yield farm on Ethereum, you can yield farm on the Binance Smart Chain, but at the same time, what they've done is that those pairs, those metal pairs that you can long or short, that you can trade in that way on the Mettalex platform, essentially right now, just like how you can go on another decentralized exchange and provide liquidity on a platform and receive rewards in the utility tokens and receive rewards in fees, what they've done is that if there is a pair, right now I think there's only two that are not activated as yet, but you can trade on, say, you can pick, say, silver, or I think the silver spread, you can pick any spread that's supported right now, you click on it, then provide liquidity in BUSD, which is a stablecoin governed by the Binance ecosystem, and by providing that liquidity, you're going to earn a consistent 20% yield. And this is a long-term thing. So I think explained this before. So essentially the plan is, in brief, is to adjust the liquidity or the reward being issued out in the Mettalex tokens, but at the same time, I think they also will be issuing out the fees that are charged. I'm not too sure on that, but they'll be issuing out. There'll be an automated algorithm that essentially adjusts the amount of Mettalex tokens being issued out on the liquidity providers, so that it maintains that 20% yield long term. So guys, I'm very bullish on DeFi. I truly believe decentralized finance is the first killer app. If you do not consider the actual blockchain technology, that's a whole animal on its own. So the killer app within blockchain and distributed technologies, I think, is DeFi. And if you're out there and you're still focusing on buying liabilities and yet assets are essentially in front of your face, then that's your choice. Guys, let's move on to try and make this video short. So of course here Mettalex talks a bit more on those spreads that they're providing, like copper, steel scrap, the Matic network as well, so the token, BNB, Ethereum, and BTC gold as well. So these are items instruments you can long or short on the Mettalex DEX. Remember, this DEX is relatively new, so they've done pretty well for now. And also being able to keep an accurate tag on the prices is something it's something that's very, very hard to do. So good job, kudos Mettalex. And here there's a beautiful video by Vlad, who's basically the spokesperson of the Mettalex ecosystem. And I think he's also one of the technical people as well. So this is a run through of how to provide that liquidity on the Mettalex platform with the Binance Smart Chain. Binance, for the main reason of because the fees are low there, so it's the barrier to entry is very low, as opposed to Ethereum, where the fees are quite high and the barrier to entry is quite high. And to almost conclude, just a reminder, you remember Fetch.AI released their DeFi agent a while back. So they're telling us that their DeFi agent has actually reached 15,000 users. For those that are new to this channel, basically what this DeFi agent, I've used it before, you can put your liquidity pairs within their graphical interface of this platform. I'll look for the link, I'll put it in the description. So essentially you go there, put your liquidity tokens in there and create an agent that then automates the whole process. Looks into your contract and where you're providing liquidity, and in case you set a price, a high price or a low price. So in case the price of that token crosses a certain price, this agent essentially automatically exits or removes your liquidity from that platform. So in case of something shady that's happening, you can sell. I wish it had a functionality for as soon as it extracts it, it converts that back into the coin or the token of your choice, either into the token itself that you're exiting from or from the other pair. That would be an awesome feature. But this is a new product, it's working perfectly right now, and I think it will evolve with time. So guys, let's look into some XRP. It's been a while. I love Ripple and the whole, I think they're going to really change the whole financial system, or on-demand liquidity and whatnot. So here we see that RippleNet partner Siam Commercial Bank has adopted, or here I think it was Crypto.AI that brought this. Those of you that follow XRP know Crypto.AI. So she tweeted, Siam Commercial Bank infomercial. The Siam Commercial Bank easy app money transfer with RippleNet. Bank of Thailand authorized the service to leave the sandbox so you can be confident. So apparently the Bank of Thailand is really looking into, how strict these people are and how secretive they are. So if they're looking into actually using RippleNet and they're advertising an app here, when you play this, you can actually see this guy advertising, RippleNet. So that's amazing. So another thing about Ripple and XRP, the XRP Ledger Foundation is excited to say that we have an office in Tallinn, which is I think the capital of Estonia. hopefully. We're looking forward to having XRP devs visit us there. So more info on this soon. And one thing about Ripple and XR and what's going on with the SEC, judge allows Ripple to depose SEC official who decided ETH is not a security. Guys, I'm not going to get into this politics. We know there are one of the chairs of the SEC that retired before these. There's some shady business with how they declared Ethereum as not a security on their own. There's no official document written about this, but they wanted to do that, hence protecting the Ethereum Foundation and Ethereum network and everything from the hammer of the SEC, and yet attacking these other companies that are well, I'm not American, but I feel it's quite dumb attacking the companies that could essentially help you as a country be the leader in this crypto space, at least as far as money remittance is concerned, which is a multi-trillion-dollar market. So guys, the point of this video to conclude is that, hey, don't be fooled by any crazy news you hear out there. Crypto is volatile. Yes, things go down, but if you're looking at a macro perspective, a long-term view, then you shouldn't have a lot to worry about. And if you do your research, if you invest, I don't like using that word investing. If you get involved in projects that you think are going to change this world in the way that you want them to, and you really, really love their products and it fits your desires and your idealized product suite for, at least for where the world is going and how this product is fitting into the future of that world, then if you do that research, you understand where to place your bet, because everything in life is a bet. And then keep your fingers crossed, but at the same time, at the back of your mind, you know that crypto is not going anywhere. Guys, take care. Hope to see you on the next one. Bye bye.